Hello, welcome to Double Talk. This is our very Merry Christmas show.
We're very merry. Oh, look at this lineup.
I'm Mark Steffen.
I am Michael Mandel, and welcome to our eggnog tasting with, this week we're going to do 3 different rums. We have Appleton, 12-year-old, which is a nice dark rum. Kraken, which I love because it's got a picture of an octopus on
Kraken.
It's got a Kraken, and that's already flavored, and we're using, in the middle here, not soy milk, almond milk.
Almond milk.
Almond nog. So
We're
it's
dairy-free
healthy
today.
enough for Mark. You know, he would never dilute his body with unnecessary sugar, but he will today. This is a specialty rum. It's Clement, which makes all sorts of rum, but this is the Creole shrub, which has what? Orange flavor and
Orange peel flavor.
and
Interesting.
other spices. And so we know that standard is kind of rum, but as an offshoot, everybody drinks this with brandy. This is the most standard brandy there can be.
Right.
E&J.
Now, some people also like to put brandy, bourbon in their eggnog. We're not doing that.
Because we don't have that much bourbon.
Because we're tasting 3 kinds of rum. And
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
We just have too much alcohol. So we are starting off, we'll do 2 in the first half of the show, we'll do the other 2 second half of the show.
So what are we starting off with,
We are
Michael?
starting with the Appleton rum, which is 83% alcohol, giving it a proof of
40.
86.
Where'd you get
86
that?
proof. I don't remember. It's all over the place. This you can get at Walgreens.
So,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
A little bit of rum and a little bit of the eggnog.
Yeah, pretty much equal parts.
And that is really good. I really recommend this eggnog.
The eggnog's not bad. You know, I always think overpowering cinnamon and clove.
And
Taste of
overpowering sugar,
Sweetness
too.
from rum.
This does not have high fructose corn syrup, which you don't want.
No, you don't want that. Or modified food starch. Which you
It's
don't want.
really good, Michael. I recommend that. Can you get that rum in Walgreens?
You can get that in Walgreens. You might be able to get it in Walmart. So I give you, we're
measuring.
We're measuring
Carefully,
here.
very carefully.
Because, when you do 4 boozes, that's enough. Here, measure plus.
There you go.
You know, I'm just a generous bartender for somebody who's not generous.
Michael,
Generous.
I would never say that about you.
I'm generous to a fault. I don't know what that
fault.
means. I have no idea what that means.
An earthquake fault. Let me put some of this in.
You know, we
probably
drink
shake
the
this
rum
up.
straight, but since Mark is very religious, okay. He's a religious antagonist.
In what way
You're
am I
atheist.
religious?
You stay away from religion. Oh.
I put less eggnog
You
in.
did. Do you think it needs more?
Less egg, more nog. That's what we really need.
What do you think?
I'm liking that too. It's more full-bodied or something.
What alcohol have you ever not liked? Can you remember?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, there's plenty.
What?
There's,
that we've done on our show? Do you remember?
Gilby's vodka. We don't care for that.
Gilby's vodka. I mean water with alcohol in it?
Okay, it's good. That
I
is
like
good.
the first one better.
I do too, but that's not bad. It's not bad at all.
This needs a little more nog.
We didn't put enough eggnog in there compared to the other one.
That's because you did
I'm
the
okay with that.
The nog had the flavor.
But I'm really liking that eggnog. I'm gonna go to Natural Grocers.
So actually, we're not
where they
doing
sell this.
a rum tasting. We're doing an eggnog tasting.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's pretty good.
Yes, a little bit more nog.
Yeah.
Kraken has its own flavors. I think they're fighting a little bit. The flavors. The octopus is fighting the nogapus. So
Yes, and that's what you want, I think, when it comes to eggnog.
you want a puss fight.
Yes. Now, what's
We're
that?
Well, this weekend, you and I went to a poetry reading of a
Yes.
local author, Joe Somoza, one of our favorite guys. He just came out with this book called As Far As I Know.
It's his latest book.
And
I don't know, how many books has he published?
he's got tons. He publishes like every 3 or 4 years.
He's the Las Cruces Poet Laureate.
Well, he isn't.
Not officially,
You
but
know
as
why
far as
he's
I'm
not?
concerned, he is.
We pushed for Keith Wilson to be
Yeah,
poet laureate.
he was.
And we had him announce.
Well, then he
Joe
died.
Somoza And then he died, the
He
nerd.
died.
And
So-
that's why Joe Somoza doesn't want to get poet laureate,
doesn't want
because
to
he
take
find
over?
out once you're poet laureate, that's it for you.
Then you die.
He's also such a humble guy and a sweetheart, and if you can go and get it, I think probably at
Coas,
Coas,
of course, will have
and
it.
it'll be online. At
Well, who's the publisher?
Amazon. Bobby and Lee Bird, who own Cinco Puntos Press
Cinco
in
Puntos Press.
El Paso.
Press, yes.
Those guys have been supporters immediately, not immediately, but always, of our poetry thing. So Joe Somoza.
Joe
And
Somoza, local grown poetry.
also Dick Thomas, Dick Thomas has a recent book out, and maybe we'll have that next week. The two of them really just love publishing their
We should
books,
do a
and they're
piece.
both good.
We should go to their house and have each one of them read a poem. Put that on the show.
We don't have that kind of time.
Michael, we used to do that kind of show, remember?
We did.
We do
And-
have that kind of time. If we
And sometimes we
take
do it.
that kind of time.
Yes.
Now-
Anyway, we are back to the show about Las
Let's roll
Cruces.
on. Now,
These are Las
I was
Cruces
looking
poems.
at the Sun News. Just what day was it? Wednesday.
How
And-
long ago was that? About 3 days ago,
About
huh?
3 days ago. They had a headline about our Attorney General of New Mexico
Who's in the news a lot?
visiting Las Cruces.
What's his name?
And the Sun News, Hector Balderas.
Balderas.
And I noticed the Sun News
Get it closer there.
misspelled his name. Balderas. they
Balderas.
spelled.
How many of you noticed that, those of you who get the paper? I didn't notice it because I didn't even know what he was standing in front of. I didn't know what the article was about. He's like in this simulation of what to do when you're in a gunfight situation, which is good to have
He's
Mark
in a-
looking down at the paper.
Drug enforcement simulator someplace. Anyway, my point is the Sun News should never misspell the name of the Attorney
In a
General.
title on the front page.
Because they got his name spelled right in the caption up here, but they couldn't spell his name in the gigantic headline.
Do you have this down that we are getting a new publisher?
We do have a new publisher of the Sun News. Yes, we
have
do.
that? Because by accident, I met the new publisher last year when I was in let's just say, a hotel restaurant
Yes.
having a drink.
Here?
No, in
Elsewhere.
Albuquerque.
Okay.
She was there with her husband, who is,
Henderson?
he's a dental accountant.
Yeah,
and we
he's an
started
accountant,
talking,
yes.
and I started talking to them about Negronis and all these types of
Yes,
drinks.
you would.
And we really hit it off because obviously everybody hits it off with me. And the
Or
fact
they
that
just,
they're
or they
coming
just
here,
hit you.
maybe Negronis will come to town if I ask her.
What's her
start
name
pushing.
then?
Henderson. She's got a weird last name.
She's a hyphenate?
Yeah, no, it's Rynni. So when I saw that,
Ryan?
Riney. So I saw that on Thursday.
What's her first name?
Riney is her name, Riney Henderson.
Riney Henderson.
So they're coming to town, which is great because, good. Now
Well,
because I don't have enough people to drink with.
Well, welcome to town. We'll
Yes.
probably have her on the show in the near future, like we had the previous publisher.
We did?
We did.
When did we have Frank Lito on it?
Before you were a part of the show, Michael. I interviewed Frank Leto.
When he didn't want to come when I was here.
He didn't know.
Yes.
He says, Michael on the show yet? No. Okay, I'll come on.
do it. But don't let him on the show.
So anyway,
Anyways, we just slammed the Sun News, and then we welcomed the new
Yes.
publisher.
That's how we got-
And we're looking forward to
that's how we roll.
the two of the Hendersons coming down. They also have a place. They still have a place in Portland.
Oh, yes, they're
Where
from
they live,
Oregon.
yes.
Yes. Now, also, Diana Duran, our ex-Secretary of State, who was disgraced and found guilty of high crimes and
High
misdemeanors.
crimes. Gosh, they made her walk the plank. But that's about it. They didn't make her jump into the ocean.
She could have spent 9 years in prison. Unfortunately, she only got 31 days in prison.
In jail, not
Jail.
prison.
Right, she should have gone
There's
to
a
prison,
difference.
as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, but she has to do lots of public service.
You know, that's an interesting.
And she has to pay money back,
It's
too.
an interesting penalty too, because, you know, you're in prison. You're in with other people of your ilk, right?
Right, you're
So it's not
helping
like,
them.
oh, you're worse than me. I'm not worse than you. Oh, shame on you. She has to do 4 classrooms a month for 3 years of, I don't know, talking about. It reminds me of the South Park guy. Robbery is bad. Drugs are bad. You know.
That's
it's
right.
bad. What are you going to say? How long can she talk about
Being a
whatever
criminal
she's
is
gonna talk about?
bad.
She can talk about being whatever she was.
Well, she had a gambling addiction. She also has to seek gambling addiction help.
Gambling is bad.
And so
she can still gamble.
She got off easy, as far as I'm concerned. She also has to wear a bracelet, that tells them where she is at all times.
Is she at 30?
For 5 years.
Do you have any other criminals that we're talking about? Because
I have a criminal later I'm going to talk about.
Which one? Do you have Enrique?
Susana Martinez.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
No, on the same day her thing was on, this guy, Enrique Nerios, 22 years old, he burglarized 3 homes, set one on fire, stole a car, and attempted to rob a fast food store with a crowbar. He didn't get anything. He could have got 19 and a half years in prison, but he's getting 5 years probation because he pretty much rolled on his accomplice.
He turned state's evidence on his criminal.
And if you manage, although a guy who did that, he's not going to make it for 5 years. He's going to get caught within like another year.
If he does, he does the 19 years
plus whatever he gets.
Oh, yeah.
So that's,
he's a jerk.
They gave him enough rope to hang himself is what they did.
That's what they did.
But they let him off. What else?
Well, now
what else is on here?
Susana Martinez is cracking down on drunk driving.
I'll drink to that.
Penalties. Drink to that. She's calling for more penalties. I thought the penalties here were bad enough as it is.
Well, they are bad.
Additional penalties.
Well, after 4 convictions.
Well, yeah.
4 convictions. You're doing it 4 times.
Well,
get the idea.
Well, a boozer like Susana Martinez is lucky because people drive her around. She doesn't have to worry about it.
Don't you get driven? Don't you have a chauffeur?
I get driven crazy by you.
Will. By me or from me? Must be my new cologne.
Now, did you know that Las Cruces dropped in its ratings?
I didn't know we had a rating.
Oh, we do. We did.
What's our rating in?
Yeah.
Do you have the notes that you took on?
We dropped.
I didn't even manage. To place 57 or something?
We used to be 55 in the nation.
Oh, now what are we?
For places to live, now we're 120 in the category of small metro areas.
And the reason we lost that lost our rating?
The show?
This show is what brings people here. Maybe we shouldn't do it on YouTube because then people would have to move here so they can get Comcast so they can watch the show.
Yes.
But the reason we lost it is because criteria is ridiculous. I mean, who sets the criteria? Criteria is minimal. We've had a lot of people moving in. We have pretty much the same stuff we had last year, maybe even better.
Well, I'm sure unemployment is down some. The minimum wage sucks here. Right. But El Paso, they dropped just like we did. They were 53rd in the large metro area. They were 53rd, now they're 121.
That's the same numbers you just gave us.
They're 121.
That's enlarged.
They're in a different category, though.
I think most of you who live here know why we got that rating drop, because it's a lot colder this winter.
Is it?
Do you notice? We're freezing our ass off. I can smell it. So anyway, what makes your city better or worse? I think there's still plenty of things to do. Look at this great swimming pool we're sitting in front of. I mean, it's wonderful. Well, there's no snow there.
I don't think it's that we or El Paso did anything different. I think all the other towns ahead of us did things better.
You think so? You think they have more brew pubs? Brew pubs are the big thing now. Every city's got them, especially Colorado.
Well, the Boulder, Colorado should be way ahead of us.
I'm sure they probably are way ahead of us. What else? Do you have a short thing? Because we're going to have to take a break in a second. But
mention something about drones.
Drones.
It's Christmas.
We're drones.
Drones are going to be the biggest Christmas present of the year. And a lot of people are going to be giving and getting drones. Well, soon, like around the first of the year, they're going to have to be registered with the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. Licensed. And
cheap licenses. They're like about $7, I think.
$5. Well, they're going to waive that for the first 30 to 60 days. But they also have to be numbered so that with binoculars you can see what the numbering is on it, like a regular aircraft. They're going to be numbered and licensed.
So, if everybody's going to have drones, I'm getting me a shotgun. That's a good game, right? Shoot the drone.
It's against a lot of fire upon a federally licensed aircraft.
But it is. A hot air balloon. Well, if it doesn't have a license on it, then you could shoot it down.
Yes.
Theoretically.
Then it's just somebody's hobby toy.
I'm not getting me a... We're going to talk about guns in the second part of the show, aren't we? We have some guns.
Let's take a break now.
And we'll come back and we're going to taste, what are we going to taste? Vermont and brandy.
This is an important announcement for anyone prescribed the blood thinner medication Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding, including bleeding of the brain or gastrointestinal system after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Don't delay. Call the Sentinel Group right now. The blood thinner medication Xarelto has been linked to an increased risk of severe internal bleeding, hemorrhaging, stroke, heart attack, and even death. If you or a loved one experienced severe internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result of taking the blood thinner medication Xarelto, call the Sentinel Group now. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call the Sentinel Group now for a free case evaluation. Don't wait. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call the Sentinel Group right now.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Burke, and I have a secret. Even dancers have to work to stay in shape. How do I keep my body fit? Jazzercise. It's the perfect workout for me. The latest music, the hottest dance moves. It feels more like a girl's night out than a workout. Jazzercise helps me dance my way to a better body. When's the last time you danced? Find a class near you at jazzercise.com.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate, Fiesta Motors. Where buying a car is always a celebration.
And we're back. This is Double Talk, right here on the Las Cruces channel,
Right.
Channel 98 Comcast.
And our YouTube,
And YouTube.
under Double Talk, Michael and Mark. That's
Michael
what we're
Mandel,
under.
I'm Mark Steffen here on Double Talk. Now, what is this?
Hi, Michael. We are doing Clement, which has a shrubs are an interesting type of flavoring that don't necessarily go into booze, so it gives a little spice. And this should have a little bit of an orange lilt
It
to
does.
it.
It really does. And we're tasting
And,
with eggnog.
with eggnog.
Almond milk eggnog.
Wow.
It's completely
Awesome.
different than the rest.
It's so mellow.
It's
and
good.
You can't really taste.
I taste the orange.
I taste the orange.
Well, I got more
I don't
than
really
mine.
taste the rum.
You gave me a little bit more than you've got. But
You forced me to do that. I didn't do it of my own free will. It's your own
it's
decision.
quite good. It's really good.
If you can get a hold of this, good luck.
Where'd you get it?
I got it from Toucan on sale because they couldn't sell anything because that nobody understood there.
Nobody would buy this.
It's a crazy rum thing. It's
called
It
Clement.
turns out to be one of the best deals I've gotten at Toucan.
Creole shrub.
Except for Martin Miller Gin when they went on sale.
Ah,
And that's also $35. That was on sale for 10 or 15.
Hmm.
This is about 35, and it was on sale for 10.
$10.
Forget about that deal. You ain't getting it because they're not
You got
going to
the
buy
last
anymore.
one, huh?
I get the last two.
ooh, last two.
Yeah, that's the
bastard.
last one. You got to know how to do it. Anyway, we'll keep talking.
It's
and
delicious.
And then we'll do the
Later on, we're going to taste this.
Yes, and then when we get bored, or when you get bored, or if you get bored, you just turn the show off. So
Now, we
You're not gonna know.
just got word that New Mexico State University Alamogordo branch has decided they're not going to allow any gun shows on the property because they've been renting out one of their halls to gun shows, gun dealers putting on gun shows. Also, they're not going to allow the NRA to have their banquet there if people are going to bring guns.
you could have a banquet, but you can't have an auction. You can't have a silent auction or any sort of gun being offered for sale on campus.
Right.
Which is really nice when you look at what Texas is doing with their open carry things. What's that a picture of?
I don't know what that is. Oh,
What
those
is
are
that?
guns, I guess.
Is that guns?
Yeah, it's a gun show. Gun show.
I've never been to one, so.
So I thought most universities had a no-gun policy. You can't carry a gun at NMSU. So
You know, the times, they are changing, but they may be changing back the other way with the proliferation of all these crazy shootings and people who are adapting their AK 47s down up to 49s. They're just kicking it up a bit. So the gun situation is
I saw a thing the other
changed.
day about little kids. One little kid shot 2 of his friends with a gun.
just for fun.
Right. Well, to use the NRA logic, the only thing preventing a bad kid with a gun is a good kid with a gun.
So, which brings us, I don't know if you have it on your list, but on my list, there was a guy who shot in a road rage thing in Albuquerque. He shot at a car and killed a 4-year-old girl.
Yes.
But when they took him, they got his statement, he said he didn't mean to.
Road rage.
It was a mistake.
He just tried to
It
scare
was
the
just a
man
mistake.
driving the
But
car.
if you're trying to scare somebody by shooting somebody...
That's Tony Torres, by the way. We have his
Yes,
picture.
we have that. Do we have Tony
We
Torres?
kind of jumped ahead a little
Do
bit,
we?
Michael.
What was next? This is a good segue from
Tony
those
Torres.
guys looking at guns.
Let's put
One
the
of those
picture.
is him. I'm not Tony Torres. I'm Michael Mandel.
After the Santa Teresa pot thing, we got a picture
Michael
of Tony
Mandel,
Torres.
or in the Sun News, Michael Manadel.
With
That's what I mean,
Baladeras.
Manadel.
Yes.
Hey, there we are. Okay, so you don't have to look at Tony Torres. Oh, we're looking at this now. I don't know how we're doing that. How did you do that? Oh, that's us. Yes.
Okay, now
What is that a picture of?
There's Tony Torres. Yeah, he's the guy that shot the 4-year-old girl. He was aiming at the guy driving the car,
Or just to scare him.
claiming he wanted to scare the man, so he killed the man's 4-year-old daughter.
There are plenty of people who get shot by accident. You were just talking about children who shoot each other by accident.
Yeah.
You don't
This
go
was
and
no
stab
accident.
somebody by accident
This is attempted murder.
unless you're Sid Vicious.
Oh, not attempted
Remember Sid
murder.
Vicious?
It was murder. Sid Vicious of the
The Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols.
He killed his girlfriend by mistake. He tripped into her.
Well, so did Burroughs.
It's William Burroughs, and he got
William
off
Burroughs.
because he was
In there in
it
Mexico,
was
they got
a
away with
mistake.
it.
Yes,
He tried to shoot an apple off his wife's
He was
head.
just doing William Tell, Then he missed.
He missed, and they
I
boogered.
think that example itself should prove that guns could be dangerous. You can intend to do something that is not dangerous, yet do that.
Michael, I could shoot this off your head. I wouldn't have a problem with it
Many
at all.
times there are mosquitoes flying around me, and I'm tempted to shoot at them. That could be dangerous.
On next week's show, I will shoot an apple off Michael's head.
I'm not coming next week. That doesn't sound good.
But first, we're going to have a few eggnogs.
A large
then I can do it.
really large apple. And I'll have a proxy. What's next?
Well, down on-
we have a show to do here.
Right. Well, up on the Mescalero Reservation, they busted like 32 people
34, I think.
for methamphetamine distribution, possession, and use up there on the Mescalero Reservation.
Methgalero. I like that.
Methgalero.
We're going to go with Methgalero.
That's their new name, apparently.
Not Indians. Methgalero, Native Americans.
Yes, like Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Methgalero. Where they do.
We can't make fun of people lists, but you remember when Donald Trump made fun of that guy who
Yes.
had some affliction?
Well, I've
can't do that.
been to the tribal police station in Mescalero because I used to work on the reservation.
You were there?
And they have a before and after picture on the wall there of a person before they
Do meth?
got meth and after they got completely addicted to meth.
What do they do? Erase
Oh.
their teeth?
The teeth fall out. They look. It's quite a transformation. Not everybody who does meth does that. Only people who are like totally have a completely addicted personalities. Who will
Why are you
take that
justifying
much
your meth usage? Are you justifying your own meth usage?
No, I don't need to justify it.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, don't do meth. Meth kills,
Yes, and gets you arrested.
especially on
If
meth,
you're dealing it.
especially in Mescalero.
If you're dealing it. But I think this operation that busted him took a year and a half.
Yes, DEA, tribal police.
So, but to get
state
34
police
people, that's quite a haul.
in one reservation. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, how many people live
Also,
on a
down the road in Santa Teresa, they busted somebody with 500 pounds of pot this week.
5,000 pounds.
5,000 pounds. Yes.
And we're not calling it pot, we're calling it grass.
Grass.
Or do you want to call it
Boo.
marijuana?
Mary Jane.
Yes, it stopped at the... So, it's Christmas time. People are into partying. Well,
Look at that weed. Look at that
Yeah.
weed.
that's a lot of... That's an entire
You know-
pharmacy in Colorado.
We have a state bordering us where that would be legal.
Yes. and probably enjoyable.
Enjoyable.
Enjoyable. Is that how much? Oh, you better.
We
finish
better hurry
up.
up. Let's finish up.
off your Clement. We are going to do.
Now we're going to mix it with brandy and eggnog.
I am actually going to bother to measure it to give some rule of thumb here.
Just dump it in, Michael.
Ooh, it smells. Just pouring it smells like apple. It smells like Calvados.
Calvados.
Do you ever have Calvados
Yeah.
at my house?
All right,
Where's the eggnog?
Michael.
There's no eggnog.
Never mind. Now, this is the weekend of Star Wars. The new Star Wars opening is happening. Hopefully, it's the good Star Wars. The last two.
Yes, so Star Wars. That's when Robert Redford and Robert De Niro fight it out. Those two stars. Isn't that what?
No, Star Wars. At least the last two, George Lucas directed. Stinkers.
These are J.J. Abrams.
J.J.
right?
Abrams directed this one and co-wrote it with Lawrence Kasdan wrote it.
Ooh.
Well, he did The Empire Strikes Back and
sounds
Revenge of the
pretty
Jedi. So, Return of the Jedi. So
Let's drink to
and Indiana
Star
Jones.
Wars.
Star
Everybody's
Wars.
looking forward to it. Actually, it opened last night.
We haven't seen it yet. I'll wait till the crowds dwindle down. You might want some more eggnog with that.
Yeah, I think so. Boy.
Also, this
Although it's a
weekend,
mild hit, buzz.
tonight down at the Rio Grande Theater,
more?
I'm fine. Gift of the Magi, live theater. It's the O. Henry story, which is going to incorporate dance and acting and music.
And those of you who know the ending, don't give it away. Do you know the ending?
Well, they give a gift
Yes.
to, I won't say who.
Each other.
To whom.
Each other.
And so that's happening tonight. It's something you want to do. Also, Hard Road Sunday night, tomorrow, Sunday, at the Rio Grande Theater as well. Steve Smith and Hard Road.
It's almost like we're being paid by the Rio Grande Theater to advertise their stuff.
I wish we were.
Well, maybe we could get them to do a show.
Well, that's a good idea.
Okay, we're going to sum up here because
Maybe we'll do our show there.
Is time really moving that quickly? Gosh, when you're having eggnog, time really moves.
We've got about 45 seconds left in the show. This is our Christmas show. I would have worn my Christmas tie, but I thought next week's show was our Christmas show.
Well, theoretically, our show is taped next week on Christmas week.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway.
Cheers.
Yes, heating. We'll talk about the El Paso electric bill trying to get cut by El Paso and by us.
Because that's real boring. We
It is
want to
boring.
make sure we
It is
touch
boring.
on
We don't
that.
want to bore you. Have a good
Have
Christmas.
a holly jolly Christmas.
And even if you're Jewish, you can have a good Christmas.
You can.
Yes.
Or
Christmas
atheist.
is ecumenical. It's everybody.
It's just a season. And thanks for
It's
joining
a season, yes.
We'll be here next week. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Double Talk.
Thanks for cutting Mark's hair.
Thanks, Lita.
Yes. Your show will be on next week. Okay.
Rich bouquet.
It's, with the more eggnog, it's tasty. Oh, look, there we are. Jen, Lita Lujan. I'll just read this to you. Show's the manager.